ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीं अष्टादशाध्यायिनीं अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। My namaskars to you all. We are deliberating on the verses from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are in chapter 7th. This chapter, Saptamodhyaya, is called as Jnana Vijnana Yoga. So, Bhagavan here is explaining what is this Vijnana and how distinct it is from Jnana. What is knowledge and what is this special knowledge? Vishesha Jnana, that is Vijnana. Vishesha Jnana. There is something called as Jnana, knowledge, and there is called something which Bhagavan refers to as special knowledge. So, here in the last time, in the last class, we have seen the importance of this phrase, Na tvaham teshu te mai, that I am not in them, they are in me. This comes as a stark contrast when Bhagavan is saying that everything great and glorious, I am that. Starting from the 8th verse, Raso Muhapsu Kaunteya Prabhasmi Shashi Suryayo, that I am that liquidity, the sap of the water, the waterness of water, I am that. I am the Prabha, the effulgence of Shashi Surya Yoho. Shashi and Surya. Shashi means Chandra and Surya. So moon and sun, of their effulgence I am. I am the Pranava Omkara in all Vedas, etc. That I am the manliness in man, etc. He has said that I am the seed eternal. I am the strength of the strong, etc. And he says in this 12th verse that all these bhavas, the states of the mind, sattvika, rajasic, tamasic, all these, know for sure that they come forth from me, that they emanate from me, they springs forth from me. This is what he said. And then he brings out this phrase which we discussed in the last class. And what is that? And he says, but not to be mistaken, I am not in them and they are in me. So this is a very cryptic phrase. So it can be interpreted various ways. Because Sanskrit, the grammar does not mandate any sequence of especially when it is poetry. Now in this phrase there is no verb. There is no verb. Only it is said, but no means not. I in them, they in me. So in Sanskrit, now no can be applied, not can be applied in both sense. So I am not in them, they are not in me. Or it can be interpreted that I am in them, they are not in me. Or it can be taken as that I am in them, they are not in me. Whatever way combination, you can put it in various ways. So what would be the meaning of it? So whatsoever means howsoever one wish to interpret it, so it cannot contradict the basic theme of teaching of the Gita itself, or the philosophy Bhagavan Sri Krishna is proposing here itself. So it cannot be contradictory to it. So this should be the basic premise. Here in this sense, I have explained that this we have talked of, so I will not give much time to this again. And I said that this is the fundamental bedrock or that fundamental knowledge of bhakti. That bhakti stands upon this knowledge. So I give these different examples. From what one example here Swami Swarupanandaji Maharaj himself gave, a kind of imposition, superimposition or illusion. Superimposition is something that here example is taken, that what you might have heard often, that Rajju Sarpa Brahma or Sarpa Rajju Brahma. So what happens? So there is a little light and some shadows. So visibility is not clear. So there is a piece of rope lying there, and some person thinks that it is snakes, and he is the moment he realizes that that it might be a snake, so immediately he is shocked, taken aback, and he misses a heartbeat kind of thing. And somebody when brings it the sufficient light, and he sees that it is not a snake, it is a rope. So his fear and all that slowly disappears. But for the time being, he indeed saw the snake. He didn't see the rope. That is clear. So when he is seeing snake, when actually there is a rope, so where does the snake comes from and where does it go away? So there actually never had been a snake. There always was rope. This is the superimposition from the mind, from the memory, from the knowledge of this observer. There is never a rope. So this example is taken often in the Vedanta. So this example is compared to the state of the illusion, what we call as samsara. There never is creation. Creation is superimposed upon the reality which is undistinguishable, undivided, infinite, ever, pure, simple. Simple in the sense, it is not made of product of more components, undivisible. So that is the idea. So this idea further imposed, so Swamiji here gives an example of Like there is suppose a stump of a tree which is cut to a short height, and now that stump of a tree is there, and there is not sufficient light. Moonlight is there, there are shadows of the tree, different people passing by. So according to their state of mind, they see, like if he is a thief, he might think that might be a police looking for him. If he is a rich man and carrying some cash, wealth, etc., so he might think there is a robber lurking there in the shadows to jump on me. In that way. So there is never change in the reality. Reality is never change. This apparent change is as if superimposed upon it. This is the position of the Advaita Vedantist. Now, here in this sense, when Bhagavan says that I am the effulgence of the sun and moon, I am the sap of the waterness of the water, I am the strength of the strong, I am the intelligence of the intelligent, I am the genius of a genius, I am the seed eternal, etc., etc. He is saying that I am the life in all being, I am the austerity in the ascetics, etc., etc. So what does this phrase says? What is the importance of this phrase? Why does Bhagavan says that I am not in them, they are in me, or neither they are in me? In any case, the meaning is this, that not to be mistaken I being in everything, that it means anything physically. It does not mean physically. So I gave you example of Sri Ramakrishna's conversation with Master Mahashaya in the beginning. So Master Mahashaya says to Sri Ramakrishna that why don't you explain when that Murti Puja is wrong, Murti Puja should not be done, and Sri Ramakrishna lambasts him that nobody prays to a metal, wood or stone or marble or anything. They are only praying the God, the pure consciousness, not the material itself. Material is not the God. So it is just to invoke the memory of the God. That's it. It's symbol. It's a pratik. But that holiness, that purity, that godliness is attributed to it. So when that devotee attributes to it, it means it acquires that godliness itself. Now it is due to devotee. Now then when he realizes his folly, Master Mahashaya, then he says, why don't you explain it to people? Sri Ramakrishna again reprimands him that this is something wrong with this our modern generation, people of the modern generation, and rather our attempt should be to realize truth ourselves rather than going about the world and teach them how to do or how to conduct their own business. Now here also the important thing is, when we say God is in everything, it does not mean physically. God is in the idol. It does not mean inside it. That God resides in the heart of every being. It does not mean physically that you have a surgeon, you open the chest of the individual, heart of the individual, and you find something there. It does not mean physically. These are two distinct things. Like you open up the brain, you do not find mind there. So in Vedanta, what we consider, these are the, so like mind is also considered as the matter, only the subtle matter, only the subtle matter. So gross, which is very invariably distinct to our senses, even this matter, what we called as this gross matter, physical matter, this is formed of by the admixturing of each other. So they are the elements, what we say, earth or water or air or akasha or the fire, etc. They say it is not physically this physical fire or physical water or physical earth. So there they say the process of the Panchikarana. So through that, this gross form of everything of this world is formed. So this is the gross physical matter which is experienceable to our senses. Then there is the subtle matter which is not experienceable to our senses but experienceable to our mind. That your mind can know and deal with it. Bhava. Okay. Vichara. Bhavana. Chinta. Smriti. Etc. Manovikara. So this is called a subtle matter. But both are made up of three gunas only. So both are matters only, which are vibrating at different frequencies. To these different frequencies, vibration we denote is that. So which is its natural frequency, which is sattva, hyper is rajas, and lower is tamas. So these ideas, so like this gross matter, like that subtle matter, all are matter. So this is also the same rules of matter applies to the subtle matter, means mind. Mind according to Vedanta is matter. And there is something non-matter which transcends matter, that alone is Chaitanya, that is only this third level. So meaning that Arjuna or should not mistake when he is seeing, when he is saying that I am in everything, I have become everything, it does not mean physically. There is no actual transformation there, that it emanates from me. Like for this phrase where he has used matta eveti tan vidhi, matta eva, from me only, that is the meaning. So all these bhava, rajas, ए chaiva satvika bhava, rajasa tamasascha, even tamasic bhavats, even rajasic bhavats, not only sattvic bhavats, that they all come forth from me. This is what he said. This is what Bhagavan says. So everything emanates from the Atman, this mind, all these tanmatras, or this sattvic, rajasic, tamasic states of the mind. But know for sure that I am not in them, not physically. The I am the superset and they exist within me. Te mahi, that I am the superset and they exist within me, in me. That I am the, so in one of the Upanishad it comes that when we say that God himself has become this creation, that God is not only nimitta karan of the samsara, but also the upadana karanam. Means not only he is the creator, he is also the material cause of this universe. This is something special which is not no other religion or such philosophy or theology talk God in this sense, that God is also the material cause of this universe. Many other religions, they would say that God is the instrumental cause of this universe, that God has created this universe. But from what? They say from nothing. But Vedanta says, or Hindus say, that God is also the material cause of this universe. He has become this. He has become this. He is this universe. Not only physical, but on intellectual, psychological level, all that. Your good, bad, ugly, everything, all totality of it. Good people, bad people, ugly people, worst, everything. So, if God has become Buddha, he has become also Taimur Lank. Everything he has become. There cannot be, you like it or not like it. So it will not serve to your. So this is how bold the philosophy or the pursuit of truth is. It cannot be otherwise. If you just selectively say, then equation does not fit well. That only how can God be bad and how can God be only good and not bad. That is not Vedanta says, or Hindus say. That is not the Hindus' position. Everything of it. Not only that Upanishad is saying that not that all of God has become the universe. He said by just 1/4 he has become the universe. And he is still 3/4 left. Do you understand that? So God is still 3/4 left. By 1/4 only he has become Sansara, this universe, this creation, its Ishvara, its ruler, and he is still 3/4 left. Okay. So to say that whatever you say, like Sri Ramakrishna explains that philosophically they say that this is Maya, Mithya, Brahm. This is not the ultimate reality. This is the play of God. So this is a dream only. In a philosophical way it is put. So somebody says that I don't want to play this play. One devotee is saying, I don't want to play this play this game. I don't want to have this dream. It is hurting me. I am in lot of pain and agony. So Sri Ramakrishna is saying that this is not your dream. Try to understand that. This is not your dream. This is the dream of the divine. This is the dream of the Ishvara, in which he has become multifarious. Multifarious. Every individual. So it is only he who is suffering. It is only he who is making him suffer, etc. Death, life, and everything in between it. So this is the idea of the ultimate reality, the transcendental reality which reflects in this our subjective experiences of the day-to-day life. So making that point clear, so that Arjuna should not mistaken, he makes this point, na tvaham teshu te mai, that I do not exist in them, that I am not confined by its limit. Rather, they exist in me, that whatever their emergence, existence and dissolution, it happens in me only. I am the substratum. I am that reality upon which this dream is superimposed. This illusion is superimposed. This illusion is conceived. So that is the meaning. That's why this is the God we worship. This is the God we worship. This is the truth we adore, we covet. And devotee, by worshipping God, trying to remind himself of that only. That's why all the time our mantras or praises of God, all the time they are giving hint that he is in that in the way of worshipping, so alluding praises to him. We all the time there are hints that he is not merely a person, but it is the principle we are worshipping. But principle cannot be related to. That's why we say we superimpose this idea with our wishful mind, wishful thinking of a person, considering him, regarding him like a person. That's it. There is nothing wrong. He has become everything. So you can consider him, but you are all the time you are worshipping not the form, but the principle behind it. So this is the meaning. Now Bhagavan carries forward this idea. In the 13th verse he says Tribhir gunamayair bhavai ebhihi sarvamidam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhya paramavyayam. So, Tribhi means three. Gunamayai. Gunamayai means it is made up of these gunas. Guna is like a quality. Quality is determined by the same. When we say about the quality, so generally suppose, take for example, we'll say rice. Everything is rice. So somebody's rate is something, say suppose 30 rupees and something is of 120 rupees and something in between 3 or 4 qualities are there per kg. So to say, all is rice. But when we say what is the difference, why rate is different, and the shopkeeper will say quality. This is lower quality, that is higher quality. Gunas. Guna. So they are basically same. Maybe sometimes it is something like that. So just because they are not cleaned properly, because there is some other adulteration, or that pieces is broken, or some fault, or something other, some other impurity, and something is something which is the costliest, it is at its prime. I will say there is no fault, there is no impurity, there is no adulteration whatsoever. So 100% that is there. So even if we take suppose 1 grain from the lower quality bag and the 1 grain from the higher quality bag, maybe those 2 individual grains are identical exactly. There is no problem. But in the whole package, there are impurities and adulteration. Now, taking this example forward, when we say as gunas, these are the qualities. So, material basically, so vibrating at the lower frequency rather than its natural one, that is tamasic. So, it is underperforming, underwhelming, behaving in a distorted, disconfigured, disfigured, discolored way, that is tamasic. So, rajasic. So, it is like hyper state, and this frequency, it is not able to come to a rest. So in tamas also lower state you will find, in sattva also higher state you will find. So rest, the less vibration. In tamas also, in rajas, this is what happens. Confusion and activity. It is characterized by confusion and activity. Not able to decide. Not able to come to rest. Tamasic, what is happen? Ignorance. And that person is confident of that his ignorance, that this is knowledge. So he is not bothering. So you are mistaken and you are confident that this is knowledge. You does not doubt yourself. So you are fully confident. Sattvic person, he has knowledge and that's why he does not have really doubt. So he is not also much bothering. So there is also not much activity. But the Rajasic person, he does not have knowledge and he is aware of that. But not able to decide what is knowledge and what is ignorance. So throughout the Gita here onwards, again and again and again and until 18th chapter, you will find references and discussion on the gunas. How are these 3 gunas differently behave? Sometimes there are a chapter dedicated to it. The idea of 3 gunas. So basically this one, Arjuna's problem is this confusion. Rajas and tamas. He has lost the sattva. Shoka and moha. This is what is happened. So, everything of this universe is characterized by these 3 gunas of every substance, and those substances in these different states empowered or by the dominance or the characterization of these 3 gunas, dominance of any of these gunas, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. So they will behave differently. A place can be sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. A water can be sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. A person at certain times he can be sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. At other time he can be different. In general, overall his character might be different. In general, a person is rajasic. At some time he might be become tamasic, or sometime in company of good company, or the influence by other factors, he can become sattvic. So these factors changing the character of a thing. So these Sankhya especially, they say that these are the fundamental frequencies. They are even fundamental to the matter, that all matter originates due to difference in vibration of these things. That Akasha is considered the most primordial, most ethereal. So earth is the last, the grossest, solidified, one after other. Akashat Vayu, Vayud Agnihi, etc. So they will speak about that. So this idea, this thinking this universe just merely in terms of vibration, qualities. And these qualities, they say everything is made up of this, including this solid material, what is perceivable by our senses, and what is matter of experiences of our mind, intellect, etc. So this both is considered as material, and both is qualified by these qualities of difference in qualities of the vibration, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Now the Bhagavan says that idam sarvam jagat, all this, what is jagat, the meaning of word jagat. See, it has two words, ja and ga. Ja means which is jataha, which is born, means which is the product of something else other than it, what it is known as. Like H2O, water, is a product of hydrogen and oxygen, which are not water. Water is neither hydrogen, water is neither oxygen, but it is product of two, hydrogen and oxygen. So water cannot be considered as simple. Neither hydrogen and oxygen, because they are made up of again protons, neutrons, electrons. Alright. So you can go and go and go and go. So so all this which is born, ja means which is jayamana, jataha, which is born. This is one thing which is born, which is product of something else. The two constituents are to compound, which is not simple. Compound means two. Simple means only one. So nothing is simple. Everything is a compound, everything is a product, everything is born. That is one thing. Ja. And ga means gatiman, which is subject to change. Which everything is born, everything will be subject to change. This is full and final doctrine of the knowledge. This is uncontestable, that anything born will be subject to change. Ja, ga, that is Jagat. Alright. Which is created and which is subject to change. Which is subject to change means what is born is going to die, means bound to go to disintegration of its constituent elements. This is certain. This is the nature of the creation. Now Bhagavan says, idam sarvam jagat. This, many times this word, know for certain. In this Upanishad and this Vedanta Shastra, Many times just this word idam, now it is continuously is associated with the world. As soon as idam is said, you have to understand it refers to the creation. It refers to the world. It does not refer to the reality. It does not refer to the Atman. So as soon as they say idam, idam means Jagat. So means Atma. So means that. So means that. In the what is the masculine gender? Saha or so means that. Soham. That so is sa visarga. Saha. That is so means Atman. So you may similarly that I have to say in feminine gender, that would be sa. But that would only come in the sense of Devi, etc. But here sa means that. And idam means Jagat. So remember this. So Bhagavan says, Ebhi, so sarva idam sarvam Jagat. This is Tribhir Gunamayi. Tribhi means by three, Gunamayir, Bhavair. So Bhava has a lot of meanings. So Bhava is mental state, a state of mind. Bhava is also from who? Creation, that whatever has come into existence. So whatever exists. Tribhir Gunamair Bhavai, Ebhi Sarvamidam Jagat. Mohitam Nabhi Janati. So Bhagavan says, Ebhi, by these bhavas of three gunas, bhavas which are made up of three gunas, this all world is deluded, mohitam, that the reality is as if covered, mohitam. So they do not know the reality. Mohitam, na abhijanati. Abhijanati, abhi means from very closely, very intimately. Abhi means that. Janati, knowing. So they do not know me very, very intimately, very clearly. They do not understand this. This world, whole world, deluded by this different bhavas, the creation of these three gunas. Ebhi, Tribhir, Gunamair, Bhavai, Ebhi, Sarvamidam Jagat. So this whole creation, by these bhavas, by this creation of these three gunas, they are mohitam, they are deluded. No abhijanati, they do not know me very well. They do not know me at all. They do not know me intimately as it is, as closely. You do not know me really. Sometimes we say that you do not know me actually. You have not understood actually. You do not know that. When we say that, it means that what you are thinking that you know, your understanding is not perfect, is not right, is not accurate. You are mistaken. Nabhijanati. Mam. To me, they do not know me. Mam. Ebhya. Of this, compared to this, from this world, from this delusion, Param Avyayam, that I am the highest. Mam Param, that me, the highest, Avyayam, which is undifferentiable. That I am that infinite, the highest, that you do not know me separate from this. So he makes it clear, because and from this phrase it becomes clear why in the earlier verse purposefully he said this phrase, na tvaham teshu te mai, so that you should not get confused. And he brings here that comparison. Deluded by the states, the modifications of the three gunas, all this world does not know me who is beyond them and immutable. Param avyayam. So, this is Bhagwan says, and this idea goes forward. So, this is the state of the beings, this is the state of the world, this is the what mostly people is. This creation, this world, and what these three gunas show their play, and everything Rajasic, Sattvic, Tamasic, according to it, people are deluded. This idea will come later on also. So, and has come earlier also. So, deluded by this Maya, by these gunas, they are propelled into action into this world, as if condemned to it. So, they do not know very well. They do not know really that me, I am the ultimate, the highest and indivisible reality. To me, in the sense, Bhagavan refers himself to that highest truth, that consciousness, indivisible and the ultimate, Param Avyayam. So, not to be mistaken me as mixed with the world. I am not. I am. That's why he says Avyayam, that meaning that I have never become anything of this world, however glorious and however worst. When he says Ye chaiva satvika bhava rajasas tamasaschaye, means all these bhavas, satvika, rajasika, tamasika, they matta eva, from they have come from tan vidhi matta eva eti. Eti means they come forth from me. He says that know that all they come from me, and yet do not consider this, do not make this mistake that anywhere I am mixed with this. That all this creation is a superimposition, that he has never. So this is the very strong, point of Advaita Vedantist. Upon these ideas, Advaitins, raised and found their philosophy, that creation is not real. Whereas other branches of the Vedantis, Dvaita and Vishishtadvaita, for them this creation is real. But for the Advaitins, they say creation is apparent. Creation is not real. If it would be real, it would mean that which is not subject to change has changed. And then it would not be considered as immutable. Something which is unchangeable, that can never change. And if it change, then it wouldn't be called as unchangeable. Then it would become parivartanashil. And that is not the ultimate reality. So, Advaitins are very clear about that. So, these are the verses which reinforces the beliefs and the philosophy, the argument of the Advaitis. So, this is what Bhagwan, he says. What does he say? And he says, Daivi hi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. In the next 14th verse, he is saying that this esha, referring to feminine gender. Mama maya, my maya. He refers very clearly as maya. This is my maya. Is Daivi, it is divine. It is made up of gunas. Gunamayi maya. This maya is, or rather you can say, this gunas itself is my maya, which creates this illusion, which make this creation of the world look real. So this Maya Duratyaya, that it is very difficult to cross over. It is very difficult to cross over. Mama Maya Duratyaya. It is divine and of the nature of gunas, gunamayi. And Bhagwan, he says, gives the solution here. Mamevaye prapadyante mayametam tarantite. So those who surrenders to me only, mam eva, ye prapadyante, ye, whosoever, prapadyante in the sense who, prapadya, it simply means who bow down to me, accept me, surrenders to me, that is the meaning. And those people, mayam etam tarantite, from this maya, the people, they cross over this illusion, they survive this illusion, taranti, they do not sink in it. That is the meaning. Now, these kinds of verses, when Bhagwan, when he is giving this idea, so Krishna himself, it is in a very high state of this of yoga, and he himself, whenever he is saying that I am the highest and indivisible, naturally he is referring to the principle, not the person, not the body, not the son of a Devaki. He is not referring to the body. He is not referring to himself as an avatar, not the avatar he is referring to. He is referring of the to that of which he is avatar. Avatar means rupa of something, of form. So there is something which has taken avatar. Avataranam means coming down from somewhere. So like staircase, it has word in Sanskrit is avataranika, by which you come down. So there is something of which who is avatar, isn't it? There is something original and there is avatar. Okay. So he has taken that form. He has taken that guise. So Sri Krishna avatar, Rama avatar. So there is Ishvara, and of which this is the avatar. There is the entity that is of which Sri Krishna is the avatar. When he is referring his oneness with it, it shows his state of the mind. Not to cause this confusion that he is not meaning in the sense that he, the person of flesh and bones, as the param and aware, not that. But this person of flesh and bones, at that state of, at that point, realizing his oneness with that principle which is param and aware. This distinction we must follow. And meaning that, so Dvaitins can always, dualist can create always a scandal out of it. वो बोलेंगे भगवान ने बोला है कि मुझे ही जो शरण आएंगे श्री कृष्ण को, बस वही बचेंगे. अगर तुम उधर मतलब दूसरे किसी मठ में गए तो तुम डूबने वाले हो, ऐसा भगवान ने बोला है. You can, means dualist can always create a scandal out of it. तुम देवी की पूजा, तुम मरेगा बेटा, तू शंकर के मंदिर में क्या था, तेरा बैंड बजने वाला पक्का है, क्योंकि भगवान ने बोला गीता में. तेरे को गीता पे विश्वास नहीं है, भगवान ने बोला मामेवये प्रपद्यन्ते, जो मुझे ही शरण आएंगे वही बचेंगे माया से, नहीं तो तुम्हारा तो गेम पक्का है. That is not the meaning. Here when Bhagwan is saying I, what is to be understood from that time Krishna in such state of borderline samadhi that he is realizing that identification with the principle itself, referring. We see beautiful example in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. In worshipping Mother Kali, he is offering those flowers to himself. Do you understand? Or he is feeding that bhog naivadya which is to be offered to mother, to a cat which has come there. Can you imagine that? So this is the state, high state of the yoga, that in that state Bhagwan Sri Krishna is speaking. So in that state when he say I, because he is realizing that identification with the principle, he is in that, venturing in that realm. So mame vaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. Point being here that this Maya can be transcended. This can be, you can save yourself if you devote this to this ultimate truth. Worshipping, adoring, if you anchor on this truth, then only there is a chance of survival. Then that truth you can worship in any form. You can call it Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Shiva, Kali, Christian, Allah, anybody, anything you can call it. Provided your intention, your understanding, your approach is pure. No matter what. Again, X, Y, Z, anything. Doesn't matter. So, this is the meaning. Okay, Daivi Hesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mamevaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. So, we have seen, we will touch a bit later this verse in the next class and go ahead from there. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.